And I'm back, ladies and gentlemen. That's right. It's your favorite homegirl, E. Reed, your favorite host who loves to smile the most. I'm back, y'all. And you know what? I want y'all to sit back, relax, turn it up, and check this out. And I'm back, everybody. That's right. It's your favorite homegirl, E. Reed, your favorite host who loves to smile the most. I'm back with another Reality Radio Presents. This is my 2 cents, okay? This is my opinion, all right? Not recaps and going through the details of the show, but just my opinion of whatever show or movie that I am watching or have watched. And I just want to talk to y'all about it. So let's talk. All right, so, and I really want to thank y'all for joining me before I actually get started on what I'm getting ready to talk about. But I do want to appreciate y'all, or tell you I appreciate y'all for joining me and listening to me and partaking with me on this journey, because I have wanted to do this for a really long time. It was really challenging in going back and forth if I even wanted to really go forward with using my voice and my love of radio, because this is actually my 8th year in radio. I've been doing this since 2012. So it will be officially, my 8th anniversary, I believe, in the springtime. So I thank y'all for joining me on that. But let me just get started on what I want to give y'all my 2 cents about. It's about the Real Housewives of Atlanta. Now, I just got through doing the recap of last night's episode, which is season 12, episode 10. And I hope you take a listen to that so that you can understand even further so that it makes sense what I'm getting ready to say right now. And if you listen to the recap review of what I did last week, okay? And oh my goodness. So I'm not going to be with y'all too long. I'm going to make this as quick as possible, because really what I wanted to talk to y'all about when it comes to Real Housewives of Atlanta is the whole, just the situation with Nene. Now, I'm going to start off with this. I go back and forth with liking and respecting Nene, and I think I'm to the point now where it's almost as like I do with people in my personal life, you know what I mean, where I can be around them, I can engage with them, hang out with them, but sometimes the decisions that they make, even though I don't agree with them, I can't control it. And so because I can't control it, I really can't get mad about it, because it ain't my life, unless it's something that it directly affects me. Then that's a little bit different, then that's when I gotta kind of get in the pilot seat. But other than that, I'm just the co-pilot when it comes to whatever decisions they want to make, and I just have to leave it where it's at. So that's kind of where I'm at with Nene. Not that, of course, I would think I could control anybody's actions anyway, but what I'm saying is that I'm more accepting of who she is, and that's it. I don't expect anything other than what she's going to bring based on what she has given us online and offline and on camera and off camera for the last 12 years. So I can't do nothing other than just be like, Nene is Nene. Just like somebody I'm pretty sure in your life where you're just like, well, that's just them. And you take that information and you process it and you're like, okay, I know that this is how they are. I know what to expect, what not to expect, and what I can depend on from them and what I can't depend on from them. I know what I can confide in them with and what I can't confide in them with. And with that being said, it gives you the opportunity to make the decision on how you want to interact with that person. And so when it comes to Nene, as I'm watching her, there are some moments where I'm like, go Nene. Then there's other moments where I'm watching her and I'm like, why? Just why? For what? That brought you what? Nothing. And almost to the point where, and she's not the only one I feel like that way about, but because of the topic at hand that we're talking about on this one, on this My Two Cents episode, that's how I feel about it. And it's almost to the point where I feel like, because you create no different thing what I said about Kevin Hart. So I did a full 6-episode review of the Kevin Hart Netflix series, and I feel like it's similar to Kevin. Same philosophy, different scenario. Because Nene has created a platform of being the outspoken, outrageous, pot stirring entrepreneur, nucleus of the show for the most part, kikiing type of friend situation. You know what I mean? Like, because she's created this platform of this persona, do you know what I mean? I feel like at what we're watching is her struggling with not wanting to be that person in the public eye, but because it's the core of who she is, she's struggling to find a new balance, which is why I think she has a life coach. I don't think she has a life coach in order to just better herself. I think it's to better her image. Does that make sense? So I feel like the life coach is metaphorically like a publicist, but it sounds better on camera and to the blogs and to the audience that it's a life coach. But me, in my personal opinion, I believe it's a publicist, type of a situation. Not to say that the lady she working with isn't a life coach. I'm pretty sure she might be. I don't know. But I'm just saying, metaphorically, that's what it looks like to me on camera and how she's dealing with the whole situation. Because I think she doesn't want to be looked at as the bad guy anymore, especially when she knows that some of the girls behind closed doors are just as bad as she is. Because, see, here's the thing. Nene can't be all bad. The way that we are seeing her as, the way she's being depicted as, the way she's being treated as, the way the editing makes her look as, and Cynthia not have something like that in her. And let me tell you why. And I might have said this in another My Two Cents episode, or maybe I was talking about something else, but this is something I strongly believe in, which has been said in a lot of business aspects or whatever, or just in life in general. The people that you are surrounded with the most, there is something in them that is also in you, which is why you find a connection with them, which is why you find a commonality with them. And so with that being said, I feel like Nene is always rah. What you see is what you get. But I feel like Cynthia, and I've said this before, I did a My Two Cents just based on the Nene and Cynthia beef by itself. And I feel like that there is a part of Cynthia that can be just as ugly that we see Nene being all the time when she feels like it. Do you see what I'm saying? I feel like Cynthia's is more calculated. She really makes sure there's no cameras or there's no way that she could be recorded. Hence why we probably have Snakegate. Just saying. Think about it. Makes sense, don't it? So when it comes to Nene, which is why I feel like that's another reason why Nene is so hurt when it comes to Cynthia, because I feel like Cynthia and Nene were like yin and yang. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know how there has to be a feminine energy and a masculine energy when it comes to the yin and yang, the light and the dark. And, and it's not to say that, Nene is a man or less less feminine than Cynthia. But let's just think about it. Like, you got Cynthia, who seems a little bit more polished, and then you got Nene, who is a little bit more rough around the edges. That kind of goes together. And then, of course, the one that's polished, it kind of like, it helps the one that's a little rough around the edges. But then it also allows for the polished one to not be uncomfortable about getting dirty. So does that make sense? So I hope it does, because that's the way that I feel like this is. So when Nene is saying what she's saying about Cynthia, I feel like there has to be something in there. And But I talk about that in another, like, Nene versus Cynthia beef. And right now I'm just focusing on just Nene by herself. And so I feel like Nene on this apology tour and everything, and how she went to Eva first, I think that's a good thing. I think it's good she is coming off that she wants to do that. It's great to do all the talking, but I want to see the follow through. I want to see the execution on the follow through and the commitment to actually do better. Because people can talk all day about, oh, I'm going to do better. But are you actually doing better? Do you know what I mean? You want us to believe, Nene, that you're going to this life coach and you want to be a better person and you want to make amends with all these people. But yet, on the side, you making all of these jabs and stuff, like the one you made about Porsha still, she was fat before a dentist. And then, the remark you said about the girls and how you didn't want to share the experience with them on the side of the building because you wanted to do it with your family and you don't consider the girls your family. It doesn't make any sense. So if you don't consider them family, what you making amends for? Because either they your family, your acquaintances, or your friends, or this is really just because you don't want to get iced out completely. So it's let's take a second. Okay. I'm just saying, which one is it? I need you to clarify, and then I need you to pick one. Pick one. You either gonna be shady boots, or you're going to be the woman that is going to lead by example and see your flaws, know better, do better, because you did the work to gain skills to control your emotions, control your reactions, control your actions, and control how you resolve conflict in the same way Porsha did. I have to say, I appreciate Porsha. People are not giving Porsha enough credit. Porsha has come such a long way. Now I'm finna switch over. That was a good segue to Porsha because I did want to talk about her. This is a great segue when it comes to seeing someone on the cast be depicted in a certain way and go through certain situations, decide to get therapy and get help to control those reactions, and then see the value in it and actually put in the work, apply what she is learning through therapy. Because just if you paid attention to the episode last night, Porsha is the one that set the tone for the confrontations to go as smooth as they did. It wasn't Cynthia, it wasn't Candy, Tanya, Marlo, Giovanna, of course not Kenya, because that ain't what Kenya ain't nothing peaceful about Kenya. I don't care what anybody say, ain't nothing peaceful about Kenya. But I just feel like Porsha set the tone for that. And because she did that, that's why we were able to see Porsha confront Eva. Eva backpedaled, and that's a whole nother conversation. Eva backpedaled, but then Eva did apologize for her actions, even though she don't remember her doing it, which happens an awful lot. I said that on Twitter last night, but it was actually pertaining to Mariah on Married to Medicine when I said it, but I also said it in my notes, but I don't think I said it on the review, where Eva suffers from SML. Okay, S as in Sam, M as in Mary, L as in lady. Okay, SML. And SML is shady memory loss. All right, she throws shade and all of a sudden she can't remember nothing. She don't remember herself throwing the shade. And the fact that she confronted Eva and Eva was able to apologize for having SML, I appreciate that. And then, of course, that segued into, I'm using that word segue a lot all of a sudden, huh? Then that segued into, what's her name? Who volunteered to speak? What that girl named? Cynthia. Cynthia volunteered to butt in and stick up for Eva, which I thought was quite interesting, because anytime Cynthia is close with someone, she sticks up for them. Even though she knows they in the wrong, she still sticks up for them. So I can't say that Cynthia is definitely a ride or die, but I need her to not over exaggerate the ride or die. Okay, if your friend is wrong, your friend is wrong. There's no reason to defend the wrong. That's the part I don't appreciate about Cynthia. But it goes to show that Cynthia still has a little bit of people pleasing in the core of who she is, which a lot of people do. Not faulting her for it. It's just one of those characteristics in a personality. So moving forward, I wanted to talk to y'all about when it comes to Porsha is the whole Dennis thing. I'm glad that she's happy. I appreciate her putting in the effort, and I feel like I'm glad that we're able to see her go on this journey. I appreciate Porsha because she is definitely authentic and transparent as possible as she will now allow herself to be. Do you know what I mean? I appreciate how she has groomed herself to be a little bit better and smarter with the way she's being transparent. And Porsha doesn't get enough credit, like I said earlier, because we're seeing her growth. And her going back to Dennis and trying to make it work, I can't even I can't judge her and won't judge her for trying to actually make it work, considering that there are women out here who be with they dudes not even married, probably got more than one kid, ain't even got a ring, and he cheating out here all day long. Okay? All day long. And vice versa. The girl could be cheating and the guy just, dealing with it. Which I don't know too many couples, or I've heard of too many couples like that. But yeah, I'm just saying, she's trying to make her family work. And I feel like if she puts in this effort and God forbid it doesn't, go the way that she wants it to go, and it's not a blessed union the way she wants it to be a blessed union, then she can't, at least she doesn't have it hanging over her head, and she can look in her daughter's face and she can tell Pilar that I tried. I did everything that I knew within my power and that was in my grasp to be able to make it work. I appreciate that, and I respect Porsha for doing that. And that's my 2 cents on, Nene and Porsha. And I appreciate them both for different reasons. Nene, sometimes I'm a little bit indifferent, and then sometimes with Nene, she just get on my nerves and rub me the wrong way. And I'll be having the stank look when sometimes she be on screen or she say certain things. Porsha, I appreciate her growth. I appreciate her elevating herself. I appreciate her glow up. I wish that Nene and Cynthia would get this beef over with. I'm kind of tired of it. It's like, come on, bruh. Get this over with. Either y'all gonna break up or you're not. I feel like the Nene and Cynthia beef the same way I feel about Chrissy and her dude Jim Jones. Either piss or get off the pot. We tired of this. You know what I'm saying? Get it over with already. All right. Well, that's my 2 cents. I appreciate y'all. Thank you for tuning in. If you're tuned in on YouTube, please hit the subscribe button. And if you don't hit the subscribe button, I don't blame you. You probably want to hear, try me out a little bit more before you just decide that you want to get notifications that I done put up videos. I get it. I do the same thing with people on YouTube. I be watching their videos and sometimes don't subscribe to their channel, but I like to watching their videos. Sometimes I just got to fill you out a little bit more. Do I even want to be bothered? I get it. I respect it. I understand. But if you did subscribe, I would so appreciate it. That would be great. And if you are listening to me on any of the other podcast platforms like Spotify and Deezer, oh my goodness, I did some research last night and realized that I am on so many different platforms. So if you go to my Instagram page, all right, go to Instagram or go to my Instagram, and it's at IME So I as in ice, M as in Mary, E as in Edward, R as in Ray, E as in Edward, E as in Edward, D as in David. I'm E Reed, and you will see all the platforms that I'm on. It's kind of dope. I think it's 7 or 8 platforms I'm on. That's kind of cool, right? So check me out. I hope you guys follow me, and follow me on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook. and Halanis. So those are like the main ones that I be on and be posting all the time. And each of them has different content. So it's not like, oh, whatever I post on Instagram is always on Facebook and vice versa. Especially for Halanis. I post a lot of different stuff there. Like I post everything on Halanis. I will say that. But I appreciate y'all. Thank you for hanging out. I'm your favorite homegirl, your favorite host who loves to smile the most. I'm E. Reed right here on Reality Radio Presents. This is my 2 cents, my opinion, and I love y'all. Thank you for joining me. Bye.